In this video, we will be naming organic compounds, or rather naming the hydrocarbons. Organic chemistry, by definition, is the chemistry of hydrocarbons and their derivatives. First, we will classify the hydrocarbons. They can be classified into alkanes, which are considered to be saturated hydrocarbons since they only have single bonds. They have a general formula, which is CnH2n plus 2. By substituting the number for n as 3, we can get the formula of propane to be C3H8, or we can write the structural formula as shown. When you have 3 carbon atoms, the name of the hydrocarbon is propane. The second classification is alkenes. Alkenes are compounds that contain double bonds, and they are considered unsaturated compounds. The general formula is CnH2n. And the formula of propene is C3H6 based on a general formula, and it can be written as shown. Now, if you go into hydrocarbons that are cyclic in nature, they also have the same general formula as alkenes. So if you're looking at a ring system that contains 3 carbon atoms, like in propane, which is having the same molecular formula as propene, C3H6, the structure can be represented as a triangle which contains 3 carbon atoms, and the ending would be ane because it is a saturated hydrocarbon. So cycloalkanes has the general formula of an alkene but does not contain a double or triple bond. And the last part is alkynes. Alkynes are again considered to be unsaturated compounds because they have a triple bond present in them. The general formula is CnH2n minus 2, and an alkyne with 3 carbon atoms would have the formula C3H4, and the structure is written as shown. The name would be propyne. So this is the classification of hydrocarbons. Naming of alkanes. The general formula of an alkane, as we have already seen, was CnH2n plus 2. We're going to look at compounds with different carbon atoms, their general name, the general formula. So we're going to look at organic compounds that contain 10 carbon atoms, 1 to 10. And they're named as methane, which has a formula CH4. Applying the general formula, the formula for a compound with 2 carbon atoms would be C2H6, C3H8, C4H10, and so on. It goes all the way till 10. You need to know the formulas if you know the number of carbon atoms, and you also need to know the name of the hydrocarbon or the alkane depending on the number of carbon atoms. If you have 1 carbon atom, it's called methane. If it's 2 carbon atoms, it's called ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, and decane. Now, if you take away 1 hydrogen from methane, it gives you what we call a methyl group, which is CH3. So each of these alkanes take away 1 hydrogen atom, and you will get what we refer to as the alkyl group, and the formulas are going to be represented here. CH3, C2H5, C3H7, etc. until all the way to 10. So if you have a substituent which is an alkyl group, then you can recognize its name from the number of carbon atoms. They are called methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl, hexyl, heptyl, octyl, nonyl, and decyl. That's how you name the alkyl groups. So we know the names of alkanes, and we know the names of alkyl groups. We also know the formulas and how they can be generated. That's the first part in naming of organic compounds or hydrocarbons. Rules for naming hydrocarbons. Identify the longest carbon chain or the number of carbon atoms, which gives us the word root. If there are 3 carbon atoms, it will be propane. If there are only single bonds in the hydrocarbon, then the ending would be ane. If there is a double bond, the ending would be ene. And if there is a triple bond, the ending will be yne. If there are substituents on the longest chain, we name them as alkyl groups, and the name is derived from the number of carbon atoms in the alkyl group. We had just seen how we can name alkyl groups. Number the longest chain such that the functional groups or double bonds or triple bonds get the lowest number. If there are substituents, which are alkyl groups, we arrange them in the alphabetical order in front of the word root. And that usually should give you the name of the organic compound or the hydrocarbon. So here is an example for you. Name the following compound. The first step would be to identify the longest chain. So in this case, there are about 8 carbon atoms in the longest chain. It's not necessary that the longest chain should be horizontal. That is why I have chosen this example. So if you identify the longest chain, the first carbon atom, we will number it as 1, and it goes all the way to 8, and between 3 and 4 there's a double bond. So the word root will be octane since there are 8 carbon atoms in the longest chain. Since there is a double bond present in them, the ending for the name of the compound would be ene. So it means it is octene. Position of the double bond is between 3 and 4, so we will call it oct3ene or 3-octene. And you will notice that there are 2 alkyl groups or substituents. They are the methyl group and the ethyl group. The methyl group is attached to the 6th carbon atom, and the ethyl group is attached to the 3rd carbon atom. Since they are substituents, the names of the substituents will be placed before the name or before the word root. So in this case, it will be 3-ethyl, 6-methyl, 3-octene, or 3-ethyl, 6-methyl, oct3ene. So the name of the compound will be 3-ethyl, 6-methyl, oct3ene, or 3-ethyl, 6-methyl, 3-octene. E comes before M, therefore we write 3-ethyl first and 6-methyl second. That's how you name an hydrocarbon.